Returning now to our big question, an Australian woman has successfully sued a colleague for bullying after they deleted her off Facebook following a row. It wasn't the only incident, I have to point out. The woman claims she was bullied for years by her workmate, but it certainly got us thinking here in the office about social media etiquette and how do you handle the dreaded unfriending if someone is driving you crazy online. Lisa Fernandez hit the streets of Perth to find out what you think.
Do you reckon it's a form of bullying if someone unfriends you on Facebook that you work with?
No, I think that it's a clever thing to do.
Each their own, I guess. I don't know, I wouldn't call it bullying.
It's good to keep your private life and your work life separate.
Would you be friends with people that you work with on Facebook?
Yes, I would.
No, I don't think it's necessary in the workplace.
It depends on how long you've worked with them for. If it's a new job, probably not.
No.
Definitely not.
Keep it separate, keep it more professional.
My work uses it to talk to each other.
I don't think there's a problem if you're not doing anything wrong.
A lot of people now are getting too caught up with Facebook. I really couldn't give a rat's ass as to whether or not you're my friend.
And if I was on Facebook, that guy would be my friend. Lisa Fernandez joins us here in the studio, along with Adam Burrell from Tweet Perth and clinical psychologist Jessica Tian from the Telethon Kids Institute. Welcome to you all. Lisa, I might ask you first, a smattering of opinions there. When you
what I
took to
found
the streets?
Overwhelmingly interesting was that the majority of young people are not at the moment mixing their friends with their workmates, and I'm surprised about that because I thought it was an all-in for everyone.
That's good.
Which is fantastic. So, Adam, do you reckon they are getting wiser in regards to not being friends with workmates?
Well, definitely, and plus, obviously, you've got your own personal life which you want to keep separate from your work life, and I personally do that as well. I try and keep it separate. Because
what have you got to hide, Adam?
Don't got anything to hide, at least I don't think so. But at the same time, there's also privacy policies you can put in, obviously, so people can't see your content if you're not friends and all that sort of stuff as well. So I think people are just getting a bit more smarter in the way they use social media in a professional environment. Anyway.
Yeah.
On a serious note, though, Jessica, you know, we're talking about someone here who obviously felt quite intimidated and found it quite a hostile thing. In this case I mentioned at the top, a woman who sued a colleague for unfriending them on Facebook. What are the sorts of psychological repercussions from that happening with a colleague unfriending you?
Yeah, Tim, we know that from the research that there's quite negative emotional and cognitive consequences from unfriending someone on Facebook. It's almost quite different to terminating a friendship in real life. There's no kind of, we'll catch up sometime. It's very much a
click of the button. It's pretty cold and clinical,
we're not
isn't
friends
it?
Anymore.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of research to suggest that there are real negative repercussions from it, especially if it's unexpected. So if you haven't had a conversation with the person about their content online and then you unfriend them, it can be really affronting.
Well, Lisa, you're a bit of a social media queen. So
yeah,
you must have unfriended people and
everyone at Channel 9, I unfriended them. They just don't know it yet. I found it to be a very intimidating place, actually, Facebook. I use it a lot for work and for business.
Yep.
But for me, so many people are putting stuff up where they're interacting with their friends and all that. Now, if you're not part of that friendship group, right, and they're not friends with you, but you can still see them, or if you're friends with only some of them, you can feel very left out.
Yep.
It's very, very alienating, and I think that we just all really need to be aware of that.
Yep.
And I think, to the number of friends people have is very important in this day and age. Like, how many friends do you have, or how many friends do you have? Well, again, I'm not saying people are intentionally bullying, but it can be very alienating. How many friends do you have, Adam?
I wouldn't actually have a clue how many friends I have on Facebook, to be honest.
Don't pretend you count them. Come on, don't you?
I count my Twitter followers on Facebook.
Yeah. Well, you know, what advice would you give as someone who is interactive in social media yourself, you know, Tweet Perth and all that, to people using Facebook? What etiquette tips do you stand by?
I think it's the same basis, I guess, what everyone talks about. Like, if you only post stuff that you want your parents or your grandparents to see, I've always done that sort of belief. And it's right to have an opinion. Definitely have an opinion on news articles, or if someone suggests something that you don't agree with, but don't personally attack.
Yeah.
That's the difference. Like, have an opinion, but don't attack people.
Yeah.
But just often your colleagues can be your mates, so it gets a bit blurry, doesn't it? When people talk about having a separate work one and a separate social life one. It can make for an interesting face-to-face dynamic in the office if you've got lots of Facebook shenanigans going on.
It definitely can, and I think you want to be careful in the first place about who you're friends with and who you want to invite into your personal world, because there is an air of sort of a lack of inhibition on Facebook, I suppose, because it's different to face-to-face interaction. You want to be really careful about who you invite in. And if you are mates with someone on Facebook, just treat it as you would a face-to-face interaction. Be respectful. Don't post anything ridiculous. Anything your grandma wouldn't want you to see, don't pop it on.
But I think we forgot the number one rule, which no one's really talking about, elephant in the room. I'll do it. I'll say, don't post on Facebook when you've had a few drinks. Because I know, because this actually happened like just on Saturday night. It was very unfortunate for me and everyone involved. So what I would say is make sure you don't do that. Just like you don't drunk and dial, don't post on Facebook after a few.
You're intoxicated, emotional, and you haven't thought it out.
That's exactly right,
Put the phone down.
You're so reasonable. I might have to call you next time I'm going to post.
Anytime, Lisa.
Jess, what do you think about this?
Lisa, Jess, maybe you guys could be real life friends.
Maybe we could be real
How
friends.
quaint.
Yeah.
Okay.
How
sounds
very
good.
old school. Jessica, Lise and Adam, thank you very much for your thoughts this morning.
Thanks,
I'll let you
Timbo.
go and share this
Tim.
beautiful moment on Facebook
Yeah, we're
with all
doing
your
it now.
friends now. That's great.
Still haven't
Thanks a lot.
still haven't accepted my friend request.
No, because he's not on Facebook.
You're not on
We just
Facebook?
have to get Tim on Facebook.
No,
Yeah.
no. Plenty more after the break. I won't be going on Facebook either, but we've got more for you after the break. See you soon.